Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Swoop there, and we are here in the Red Sands National Paleo Reserve in Prehistoric Kingdom. I am building my, I'm going to say third habitat in this series so far, because I built the Coelophysis, then I built the Dilophosaurus, that's right, and then almost a year later, I built the entrance building. And once the entrance building was built, then I went and decided to build for the little Psittacosaurus. There was this little area just below the entrance building here that I thought would be the perfect size for this little dino. Now, I'm not going to talk a great deal about the Psittacosaurus or Psittacosaurus, or however you guys prefer to say it. Because in another video where I have built for these guys, I have actually talked about the dinosaurs themselves and given a few facts. So if you are interested in that, I'll pop a card here in the corner. You can watch that. Otherwise, I am just going to plow ahead here and discuss the building and a couple of things that are really annoying me now that I've started to play a little bit more in earnest. While I'm doing this voiceover, you guys can't see, but I have built another 4 habitats after this one. So I'm now six habitats in, and I have also built an exhibit building which is just behind the Psittacosaurus habitat next to the entrance. So there's a few things going on in Red Sands, and the videos will be coming thick and fast. So just a couple of small things, I guess. When I was building this habitat, there were a few things that I just found to be rather annoying as just a builder in general, I suppose. And one of them being the water issue. Now, I don't know if that's an issue for everyone, but God, it's annoying. So when you put water into a habitat, you sometimes want to put things under the water. For example, rocks, plants, like a base to the bottom of the water so that it looks more realistic, maybe even like a drain, things like that. And you should really be able to put that stuff into the water without having to go under the water to see it as you put it in. But at the moment, what's happening is when I go to put anything underneath the water, I can't see it until it's placed. So I have to sort of place it in, wait a few seconds for it to appear, or sometimes I even have to place it in, and if I've got the game on pause like I do now, you can see that I've got sort of the game is paused up in the right hand corner there, and it's got a little red box around the whole screen. I sometimes have to unpause the game in order to see what's I've put in the water. So I don't know if that's an issue for everyone or if it's just an issue for me, but it tends to be quite frustrating. So that's just one little thing that I think could be improved. I don't know how easy it is to improve because I'm not a game developer, but that's something that would make a pretty big difference to me when I'm trying to build things under the water. You can see I'm building like some little shelters for the guests to view the dinosaurs from. I feel like there needs to be quite a lot of undercover shaded shelters in this park because it would just be super, super hot. Initially, I wanted to do the in-game fencing. I put it all around the outside of the habitat and decided fairly quickly that was a major cop-out. Not that it is all the time, like sometimes they actually come in quite handy, but it just didn't look how I wanted it to look. So I deleted all that, and now I'm making my own custom fencing, which brings me to, in terms of fencing, the other thing that's been really cheesing me off in terms of building and recording. When you actually build a null barrier around a habitat, because you need to enclose the habitat so that you can use the in-game signage and have the animals on that. The problem being that whenever you kind of click near it later on, the null barrier just appears. Now, once again, because I am so fresh back into this game, I'm hoping that there isn't just an easy switch that I can just click and turn that off, because if there is and I've missed it, then you're a moron, Swoop. But it is quite frustrating. You can see that the null barrier to the Dilophosaurus habitat over there on the right is on, and I'm not actually working anywhere near it, and it's also not in a group with anything that I have clicked. So I don't know why that happens, but when you're working on a habitat and you've enclosed it with the null barrier, it'd be nice to be able to switch that off or have that invisible. I don't know whether or not that's an option, but in order to have the actual signage working, you have to have an enclosed habitat nearby. So it'd be nice not to have to look at that whenever you're building, but I mean, that's just a small thing. Aside from that, the game they've smashed it over the past year that I've sort of been absent. I'm really excited to be back playing in it. The devs are doing an amazing job at building an amazing game, and for those people that really enjoy this game, they really are smashing it. I think they're doing quite well at listening to their community as well. I've kind of sneakily been on Discord for the past year, not really engaging much, but just sort of watching and listening and reading a couple of the updates here and there. So as I said earlier, the Psittacosaurus habitat is quite small, and it is quite close to the entrance building, as is the new exhibit building, which I have since finished. That is also close to the entrance building. I wanted to build 2 smaller habitats near the entrance building, kind of like you would see, I guess, in a regular zoo. So when you enter in a regular zoo, there's kind of sort of smaller ticket kind of animals nearby as you come in, and in order to get to those sort of really big animals, like, you know, those lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
If you want to get to those, you've got to walk deeper into the zoo, and as you walk further into the zoo or park, you inevitably get hungry and thirsty and all of the things. So, you know, and everyone goes to the zoo because they want to see the lions and tigers, and everyone comes to the dinosaur parks because they want to see the T-Rexes and the Carnotaurus and Carnotaurus? I think that's how you say it, and the Spinosaurus and all of these bigger dinosaurs, which are coming to Red Sands. But because of that, you want those dinosaurs to be deeper into the park, where people have to walk further. Therefore, they are more likely to spend more money. So we're kind of going on the premise that that is what's happening in this park too. We do have a few more herbivores to get through, and then we have a couple of carnivores as well. Do let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see in Red Sands. There are some animals that I won't be putting in, like obviously the woolly mammoth wouldn't really suit this park, and I have built for them in Fecola. Still my favourite habitat that I have ever built before, so I'll pop a card in here if you feel like watching that. However, we are in Red Sands, so yeah, leave me a comment down below if you would like to see a particular dinosaur, or even if you have any links to like some interesting architecture that you'd like to try and see me replicate. I'm really into the reference pictures at the moment. I'm all over Pinterest, I'm looking at things, I'm really back into it, so I'm really happy with that. I'm trying to play around a little bit with the elevation of this park. Like, I do have some sunken habitats, and obviously the entrance building is up on a hill, which has lent itself quite nicely to the rest of the park. A lot of the park that I have built thus far is quite flat. However, there are some undulations here and there, and you can see the Psittacosaurus habitat is quite steep towards the keeper buildings, but that's just kind of how it had to be, so that I could hide away the keeper buildings as best that I could, and then I could have the guest facilities or the guest facing areas looking a little bit nicer. It also just, I don't know, just having that undulation and a little bit of hill, I suppose, makes it just that little bit more interesting to the eye. So I've just popped a little bit of elevation in here and there, and hopefully that will come across as I'm building Red Sands. You can see here I've repurposed actually an in-game prefab, and so that's that taller part of the building, which is for the next habitat, for the next dinosaur, and if you've been perceptive, you'll know what that dinosaur is. But yeah, so the bigger or taller part of this building was repurposed from an in-game prefab, and then I built the extra part of the Psittacosaurus barn onto that. There's also like a little holding pen over there, you can see that to the left, that is connected to both habitats. So I guess that's for if they're getting any new animals in, or if they have any sick animals, or they need to isolate one for any particular reason, then they can do that. So there's actually a walkthrough for the other habitat, and then the Psittacosaurus is just attached to one of those stalls there. I wanted to make this building connected because I feel like that, like I said in the speed build, it just makes more sense financially, I guess, for the park. So that, my fine friends, is where I'm going to leave my speed build voiceover. I have rabbited on about many a thing, and I hope you've enjoyed the speed build. I think I did a little bit better with the continuity, and there are slightly less cuts. However, this was a much simpler build than the entrance building, so that makes sense. I will see you in the real-time walkthrough in approximately 4 minutes. Enjoy the rest of the speed build, and I'll see you there. Okie dokie everyone, welcome on in to the real-time walkthrough of the Psittacosaurus habitat. Now, once again, I apologise for the great big ugly walls. They will not be there in the following 2 episodes because I managed to record those and record the voiceovers prior to building anything else nearby, so you will actually be able to just get the full vista of the park. But for this one, you're just going to have to bear with me. We are blocking off this one. We're also blocking off this one because they are completely finished and I don't want them being spoilt. But moving forward, hopefully this will not be a thing again, because it kind of does ruin the ambiance as you're sort of looking around. Anyway, here's the little Psittacosaurus habitat. You can see that it is right near the entrance building. So entrance building here, there is a footpath coming down this way. There's also a footpath coming down this way, excuse us tree, and another one here, all from the entrance. So you kind of come on into, this is the main pathway here, you come on into the park. And then the first animal that you will spot if you sort of come this way is the Psittacosaurus, and behind this wall here is the exhibit building. So you kind of come to these 2 first, or I feel like I probably would if I was a guest. Then you would carry on down towards the rest of the park this way. So we'll head across and we'll have a little look at what I've done here. I've put obviously a little signage board here. This is actually an in-game prefab already made, so I just chucked that on the outside. I actually thought it actually suited the outside of this viewing area quite well. And then you can see I've kind of made it a sunlight or a nice sort of evening light because I wanted it to look nicer with these great big walls here. If you were a guest, you would kind of come on into the viewing area, and it would, because it's an incredibly hot day, you'd want to be in the shade. And then this is the view that you would get. You would obviously have a beautiful vista out here as well, but not today, folks. And you'd be able to see the Psittacosaurus kind of running around in here. So there's a couple here for our viewing pleasure, and then you could continue on to the next undercover viewing area as well. I'll just zoom out slightly. You can also see them through the bars, so you don't have to stand in there. It's just easier to see because there's obviously uninterrupted glass. And then it does carry on all the way down, so the pathway will extend here and you can kind of walk all the way down and look at them through the mesh here. Let's go into the habitat and we'll have a look. Now, I know that they're herbivores and they probably would eat a lot of these plants, but to be honest guys, these habitats would be really bloody boring without any vegetation. So the vegetation is going in, and we're just going to say that they are so well fed by a whole bunch of other stuff that tastes way better that they're just not interested in the plants in their habitat. So they've got their little pond here with their drain and one of the only trees. I have tried to be a little bit more sparse with trees because I just feel like it's less realistic to have tall trees, but it is what it is. You kind of have to have some because it makes it look a lot better. And then there's a steep incline here which leads down to their little backstage area. There also is another entrance for them to get to it, or for the keepers to come up just here as well, but this one is super steep, so I feel like the keepers would probably go the other way. So down we go to here, and there's a couple sleeping in here, and then this one is closed because this is the one that leads out to the holding pen, which is out here. So if we just kind of scoot in here, we can see that this stall here leads out into the holding pen. The holding pen's out the back here, so you could put a Psittacosaurus in here, but there is also another entrance for the other build that I have built for. You would have seen a few sneak peeks in the speed build. I have got the entrance for that right here, and the gate for the keepers to bring dinos in and out is here. There's also a driveway here. This is the back of the Dilophosaurus habitat, and this is their backstage holding pen. So it's all quite close by, which I feel like is kind of what it needs to be for backstage buildings. It's obviously not practical for every single habitat to be that way, but for the most part most would be. And then this is the sliding door that the keepers can go in and out of without having to open up this area. In a live, I do want to outfit the inside of this building and then outfit the holding pen here. There's a lot of rock. I'm going to say a lot of this would just be fake rock that they have kind of put into the habitat to make it look a bit better from the guest perspective, because really, I mean, the rock would have to be very convenient for it to all just kind of be sitting there. So a lot of fake rock that they've created, but that is the little Psittacosaurus habitat, guys. And they are very happy in here. I think we've got 5 or 6 in here and they're really enjoying it. Here's one of the beautiful skins. It took me a while to get a few of those. There is one that has very dark skin as well, somewhere in here. They do look so good. Like, I actually am so impressed by them. I just really wish we could just select them. Let's see if we can find it. It's not down in... Nope, not down in there. So it must be up the top here. Or maybe I got rid of it for some reason. I don't know. Possibly. Oh, here it is. Running away from us. They just look so good. I'm so impressed, and the lighting is just beautiful, like spot on. The shadows need a bit of work here, but spot on. Stunning. They're so cute, these little dinos. He's coming down for a rest. Alright. And that is basically it, guys. That's the habitat. That's the viewing area, and then up to the entrance building, which you saw in the last episode. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I really do appreciate your support. Give the video a like and comment if you can spare just a moment to do so. It really will help out my small channel, and I would appreciate it so much. Thanks once again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye.